What is up, you guys? Pete DiCarlo here, and we're kind of doing an end of the week wrap up on the stock market. For those of you who have been around this channel for a long time, you know that I don't usually do these type of voiceover videos where I'm constantly talking about trading and the stock market and all that. Normally, it's a bit more of a general investing channel, and I do some stuff like this. But I'm actually in the middle of building my new office, so that should be done probably by the end of next week. I'll be fully in there, and we'll have an actual legitimate studio, which will be really cool. It'll be really good for pushing out content, really good for the private academy that we run. Um, I'm very, very excited about that. But I just wanted to hop on real quick and talk about the stock market this week. There's a headline I saw earlier that this was the worst week in tech, well, in the NASDAQ specifically, since March. Kind of want to talk about, my feelings with that. Is this something that, you should be alarmed about? Should you be trading? Should you be investing? All that stuff. So if you guys haven't already, I did watch a couple of I made a couple of videos last week talking about Apple, talking about Tesla. Even though that's the past, even though those plays have already happened, I want you to go back and rewatch those, because you can see in those videos, specifically start with the Tesla one and then the Apple one. And I think I made another voiceover video like this. Watch those, because you'll see my train of thought. You'll see why I predicted the price levels that I predicted, and you will see that everything that I'm telling you in this video happened. Doesn't always happen, but I called Apple to $110 per share. What happened? We ended up hitting $110 a share. I called Tesla to $350 a share. Everyone made fun of me, thought I was dumb. No way that's going to happen. It actually hit $340 a share. I'm not saying, look at me, I'm right. Of course, with technical analysis, you're not always going to be right. It's a game of probabilities, but I want you guys to go back and kind of rewire why I saw what I saw and why I was kind of thinking the way that I thought. So obviously this week, not too good for the overall stock market. If we look at the NASDAQ futures in the past, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trading days. We have fallen about 12%, which would be considered a correction type territory. And we need that. I said this in the other videos. We needed that to happen. The stock market, specifically tech, has been on an absolute tear. And I'm not just talking about, kind of like the S&P 500, where we recovered all the way back up to highs. We were actually at one point 28% above all-time highs. From lows to high, we were up 91% in half of a year. The stock market, on average, if you were to buy like VTI or S&P 500 or something, you'd get an average return of 7 to 9% a year. If you would have bought in March, you would have made almost 10 years worth of returns in 4 or 5 months. That's not how the stock market always is. People are starting to realize that. There are a lot of new people who just started trading and investing, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago. And welcome. I'm happy to have you here. I'm happy to have you a part of this life. This is not what investing is. This is not what trading is. This is not how the stock market normally moves. And I think people are starting to realize that. But I see people on Facebook like, when will the crash end? There's no crash, guys. Like, really, there's no crash. I used it in one of my thumbnails, like, will we see a stock market crash? And people jumped all over it like, what an idiot. This is not a crash. I know it's not a crash. I'm asking, will we have a crash? And in my opinion, no. We've seen a 12% pullback on basically an index that was ridiculously overvalued, in my opinion. We're seeing big companies like Apple, who have really fallen from grace. Not too badly. I think Apple's only down about like 15% from highs. Let me check. Yeah, about 20% from highs. We've seen Tesla, which we'll talk about both of these. We have Tesla that was actually down about 35% from highs. But guys, we're talking about stocks like Tesla that was up 1,000% in a year, and Apple, which I think was up something along the lines of like 250%, 150% a year, which is nuts. Like that's absolutely nuts. So of course we needed a pullback. In the past couple videos, I talked about, we'll look at Tesla specifically here. Talked about some of these price ranges, some of these price levels, why I saw this, and let's just kind of go over it. So we saw that obviously Tesla was trading at $538 a share. It fell down to support at the EMA right around $476. We had a consolidation period, then a break down to this 50-day SMA. We consolidated overnight, break down to the 100-day SMA, and a bounce. I talked about a bear trap and what a bear trap is. A bear trap is essentially, a bull trap. Once we get a big fade and we get a nice strong bounce, what tends to happen is people start jumping the gun and they just start loading up on calls, loading up on shares. Then we reject it at this EMA right on time, and a big rejection point. I said to 350. We actually fell down to 307 at one point. And then a big bounce up, consolidation, and now it looks like we're trying to hold here. Again, if you guys don't know what these are, if you don't know what all these lines are, if you don't know all this crap, I do have a private stock market community, an academy. I'll put the link down below. I teach you how to do all this. I teach literally, there's 55 hours of courses and lectures on options, spreads, day trading, swing trading, think or swim, different indicators, strategies, like literally anything you can think of. You also get access to our private Discord. There's 294 students in there right now. I go live with them every single morning like this, from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. I share what I'm trading, exactly why I'm trading it. It's a great community to be a part of. And if you want to join, I think the sale ends tonight at 8 p.m. It was supposed to end like 2 days ago, but I had a bunch of people who want to join. You can join your first month for $5. You got to use the code, I think it's Labor Day, all one word, caps, down below. You'll see the link. It's the first link in the description. So if you want to join, we'd love to have you. But this is kind of exactly where I saw Tesla going. Now you'll see that if I go to the daily chart, that I actually have a couple more trend lines drawn here. You'll see there's one at $258, which most of you are going to be like, $258 for Tesla. Hey, it could happen. I doubt it's going to happen, but it could happen. And $200 level. So this would be at the 100-day SMA, and then there would also be here at the 200-day SMA. These are your next supports. If we break 350 or 340 and hold below it, which I don't think that's going to happen. If it happens, though, expect 250 and expect 200. Now let's take a look at Apple. You can see for the same reasons, this is kind of where I saw Apple going. I actually called this pattern out in the academy this morning. I'll kind of explain it here. But same situation. We had a support here at the EMA, big pullback, consolidation, big pullback to the 100-day SMA, consolidation, big pullback to the 200-day SMA, bounce, probably trapped a couple people, and then a big pullback. Something you'll notice here is what's called a descending wedge. So we have the resistance points constantly going down, and then we have the supports going down, but not as drastically, and we get to what's called an apex. So this would kind of be like if you were popping a pimple, and this was one finger, and this was the other finger, and you get to the head of the pimple. Usually what happens is we get a squeeze, and then 8 to 9 out of 10 times we break up to the upside. So I'd expect Monday, Tuesday, Apple would probably be trading around $120, $125. I don't think we'll make that big push up. We'll probably be around $120 on Monday, unless we get some bad data, coming out. But those are my areas for Apple. If you take a look at the daily chart, there is a support right around $93. If we break this, we're probably going to head to $93, $95. So keep an eye out. We'll look quickly at the S&P 500. We pulled back to all-time highs. We're sitting at support right now, like $330. So if we break this level, probably going to fall down to $315. I don't think that's going to happen. But the point I want to get across to you guys, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, don't freak out, right? If you're trading, freaking out is not going to help you, right? If you have to sell your positions, walk away, take some time off, do it, right? Like this is a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 year skill that you're going to learn and lifestyle. If you're somebody who is an investor and you're freaking out because like your portfolio is down 20, 30% in the past 2 weeks, don't freak out. You didn't buy a company for the next couple of weeks. You bought a company for the next couple of years. So you really have to understand what patience is, and you really have to understand what it's like to watch the market move, right? Like I know what it's like when, back in that pullback in March, one of my portfolios was worth like $49,000, and it went all the way down to like $9,000 back in March. It took everything in me not to just sell and be like, well, I'll just make it back. Like, don't be afraid. You bought a company for the long term. That's what's the most important. And don't let volatility sway your emotions. I see a lot of people who are like, Oh, the market's going down. I'm gonna buy puts, buy puts, buy puts. Oh, it's going up. I'm gonna sell and buy calls, buy calls, buy calls. Oh, it's going down. Buy puts, buy puts. Just sit out. I mostly sat out this weekend. We're actually seeing the same thing on Apple, here on the S&P 500. So, descending wedge. Hold on. Descending wedge with a bullish divergence. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a bullish signal and the TTM squeezing. So the point really is, don't freak out and don't try to grab every movement. I haven't really done much this week. I took a position in SPCE. I made $1,000 on this move here this day. I made $1,000 on it. Right now I have another position in SPCE that I'm actually down 157 bucks on. But I also sold some puts on TNA. I made a little bit of money there. I sold some puts on SPCE again. I made like 300 bucks there. But I've just been taking it really, really, really safe. And that's what you guys should be doing too. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. The people who are here to sprint their way through and make a ton of money are not going to succeed. And I'll tell you that, guys, 90% of people fail. It's 100% true. And it's the sprinters who are going to gas out and fail. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you had a good week. Hit the like button, subscribe down below. Comment too, let me know what are some problems you're having in the market. What are some questions that you have? I'd love to help you guys out. And if you want to join our private academy, links down below, $5 to join. If you're watching this video the day I put it out, which is oh damn, today's 9/11. If you're watching it today, it'll be $5. If you're not watching it today, it'll be full price, but you'll still get 7 days for free. So take advantage of that. Click the link down below. I'll see you guys. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.